Hey y'all, Joe here, the cranky old gay guy, and today I am sitting in the art studio and it is chilly out here, hence all of the clothing. This might come off later, I don't know if this is because it's just a little bit nippy and I don't want to, impress you too much with my nips. Today it is somewhat cloudy, I'm looking out, but it's supposed to be like 77 or 78, so it might warm up. Today I'm going to talk to you about something that gets me cranky, and that is language learning, specifically foreign language learning. And in that mode, brief history of me, I started taking German when I was in 7th grade, and I kept with that all the way through high school, and I became somewhat proficient. I wouldn't say that I could write speeches or anything like that. But as far as conversation and getting by, that it was no problem. I was somewhat fluent. But then I didn't use it for 18 years. And when I finally made it to Europe and I made it to Germany, I sounded like an absolute beginner compared to German speakers. And after speaking to them, shopkeepers, bakers, restaurants, etc., they would just say, stop, speak English, because they all speak English. Because unlike America, I believe you start speaking or training in English in most of the westernized, industrialized countries. They start you around 5th grade and you take English class for the rest of your schooling. So you are fluent in your home language as well as English. And it would be great if they had done that here. I know in 1974 or 75, we had someone in class who was from California who spoke fluent Spanish. And she said that she had been in Spanish courses since the 2nd grade or 3rd grade. And that was just standard, that everyone was trained in another language. I believe their parents, or they got to choose which it was. Primarily, it was Spanish because they were in Southern California. Now, if I was smart, I'm sorry, of course I'm smart. Of course I was smart. If I had the foresight, I would have taken Spanish in high school instead of German. But being someone who wanted to be Eurocentric, and foreign films and everything you saw at that time, most of them that were popularized were not in Spanish. They were in Swedish or French or German or Italian. So I wanted to take one of those languages because in my mind, I thought, oh, I'm going to become fluent and then I can, go to Europe and win them over. Well, that didn't happen. A lot of things didn't happen that when I was a teenager, I thought would happen. So I didn't use German for a long time, and then I can still speak German, but just it's very, very limited. And with foresight, I would have taken Spanish and continued that. And then when I got to college, I would have taken a language class, which I didn't until my senior year. And I took I had 9 weeks left and I had room in my schedule. So I took French. And I did learn how to speak French in 9 weeks. Again, very basic, just get by French. But that's been, it's been 36 years ago since I got out of school. 13, about 27, 20, 24, just a minute. It's been 27 years since I was in a French class. So that's pretty much gone too. And here's the frustration. Over the years, I have tried to teach myself Spanish many, many times on my own, through books, through CDs, through repetition, through Duolingo, the app. But I just don't seem to pick it up. And it's frustrating as hell because even when I was in my 20s in French class, after 9 weeks of French, I was speaking French almost as good as I was speaking German after 6 years of German. And then it all just kind of went away. But when I try to teach myself Spanish, recently, like a month ago, I did something showed up on Facebook and I clicked on it and it took you through the first lesson. And it was about 15 minutes. And I learned like 20 vocabulary words and how to put sentences together. And I actually, at the end of that 15 minutes, I did it again. And it was like, wow, I understand this and I can speak it. And I know all these key words that you need to build sentences. And then it all went away. Again, the retention just isn't there like it used to be. And it is so freaking frustrating, and it makes me cranky. I know that there's a lot of apps out there. I think Memrise has really been pushing me hard on Facebook. And it's pushing AI interpreters, so you're actually looking at a face that is speaking back to you. It is AI generated, but it is a person, and they're just moving the mouth and putting the language, and they're having a conversation with you. So it's more like you're speaking to a native speaker. And I could see the appeal of that, and it might work, but I also think it's like $67 a month, and you have to buy a year in advance. And it's a lot of money to spend on something that I don't know if it's going to be the right one for me. I've also tried flashcards. And yeah, if I do flashcards every day, I start knowing a few things, but a day or two after I stop, it all just disappears again. I mean, I know words. I'm around a lot of Latin speakers or a lot of Spanish speakers. And I understand the concept especially when they're talking to each other, what's going on. I just don't know exactly what's going on. And I think a lot of that has to do with they speak really quickly. And I don't know if it is the same pronunciation that I would see on a page, because things are shortened, just like English. I might say I am going to the store, but someone might say I'm going to the store. And if I didn't speak English, I'd say, what the hell did they just say? And it's the same in Spanish. I know someone will say something and the pronunciation is the way that you sound out letters in Spanish, but it's not the way we sound them out in English. So someone might be talking to their phone, like Siri, and I have no idea what they're saying because they're speaking really fast, and I don't hear them actually say Siri. It's because it's blended into the other words. So that's what I'm getting at, is my brain, maybe it's not as elastic as it used to be or something. And I wish it was, because it makes me very, very cranky. Oh, very, very cranky when I learn something and then the next day it's just gone. I imagine that's how someone who is suffering from memory loss or aged memory loss feels when they suddenly can't remember something that they just knew yesterday. Now, for me, it's only the language thing. It's nothing else. I mean, I remember what I had for breakfast and where I went and who I talked to and what I saw. But language, I don't know. It's just really tough. If I have an actual conversation with someone one-on-one, even if it's in another language, I remember that a lot better than if I just read it on a page or heard it on a CD or something. That's my big crank today. I know it was exciting, wasn't it? And it's still too chilly to disrobe. So I'm guessing that fall starts on Sunday. Unless I actually come out in advance and turn on the little heater in here, I'll probably be frigid in this studio for the rest of the season. So if I'm shooting out here, unless I plan ahead, which I do plan ahead a lot up here, it just doesn't really come into reality, I might have to bundle up. I don't know, maybe I'll just sit out here naked with a big fur wrap on. Oof, that would be so sexy. That's all I have for you today. Big shout out to all of you people who are bilingual or trilingual or quadlingual, lingual. And congratulations. Be proud of yourself. Go out and use those languages so you don't lose them. And if any of you have taken up Spanish as a second or third or fourth language, etc., and you are using an app or some kind of book or method, and it's working, please drop a comment and share it with the rest of us, because I would love to speak fluent Spanish, for selfish reasons, of course, because I'm very attracted to certain men, and that seems to be what they speak. And it would be to my benefit to be able to communicate better, rather than just use hand gestures and body expressions. That's about it. So shout out goes to all you multi-speakers. Leave a comment, share this video. Sorry it's low energy, but it's still the morning and I haven't risen out of my crypt yet. That's about it. Today's sponsor, I would like to tell you, is the same sponsor that makes this channel possible, and that is the book 35 Letters, Letters from a Mother to Her Son by Joseph L. Ferguson, also known as Jofer, also known as moi, the cranky old gay guy. It's a delightful story. Yeah, that's a stretch. It's not delightful. It's going to probably bring you down a little bit after you start reading it, because it's very passive aggressive. And the character who's writing the letters in this book is ultra religious and ultra trad mom, you might say. That seems to be a popular term now, but yeah, she's a trad mom in the 70s. And it's all about pleasing her husband and, building a family. And when one of the kids doesn't really fit in like the other kids, dad throws them out of the house. And these are letters that mom writes to that child, telling them that, this is what's going on in life, and you really should come back home and apologize to your father, make things the way they were. In other words, she's saying, go back into the closet, admit that you're wrong, apologize to your father, let him bully you and harass you and be discriminatory, and just turn back the clock so she doesn't have to deal with it, and in her mind she can have a perfect family again. And unfortunately, I think that's the way a lot of women were raised and how they were taught that they should behave and believe. And that's what happens in this book. I encourage you all to read it. Those of you who have sent me messages telling me that you've read the book and what you liked or didn't like about it, thank you very much. All of your feedback is very important for the next book. And yeah, go to Amazon and check it out. 35 Letters, Letters from a Mother to Her Son. And I guess that's it for now. I'm doing this now, and I'm not going to do any creative edits. I tell myself that now, but who knows when I get to the computer. So hopefully this will be up by this afternoon. And I will see you all tomorrow on Sunday, the first day of fall. Have a great day. Bye-bye-bye.